Hi everybody, Dave Stewart here at TeachingTheCore.com. Just wanted to share a debate that I did with my students about a month ago surrounding the novel All Quiet on the Western Front. Now, if you've been around Teaching the Core, you know that I do ask my students to read a lot of teacher-assigned, complex, book-length texts throughout the year. I do totally believe and support choice reading, but I know that, basically, I am betting that my students can grow in character and as readers and writers and thinkers more rapidly if I heavily support and provide time and space and motivation to read some shared stuff that might be a small stretch for the average freshman or a huge stretch for the below average freshman in terms of intellectual ability and grade readiness and stuff. So anyways, I want to share with you the debate that we did surrounding All Quiet on the Western Front. So at the beginning of each book unit, I have students do some pre-reading exercises, and one of them includes I teach them explicitly some key concepts that I think are a little bit abstract and that will kind of inform exciting discussions and debates, just kind of giving us a shared vocabulary for drilling down into some deep ideas. So for example, in All Quiet on the Western Front, here are the key concepts: humanity, the lost generation, glamorization/deglamorization, imagery, camaraderie, irony, the Kaiser, crisis of meaning, microcosm, and innocence. So it's always like 10 words tops, and I think there was like 8. And I totally fail a lot to do the things that I set out to do in the classroom. So like microcosm, we hardly even touched the fact that Paul is, I think, kind of a microcosm for the fighting man in World War I. We didn't even touch on it. We never discussed it. I never asked a single question about it. The kids didn't ask a question about it. So, I think failure is important to acknowledge, and that's what I'm doing. So at the end of this unit, reading this book, we ended up with over 80% of students reading the book from start to finish and asking a lot of questions along the way. And so we had this debate, which I'm about to show you. And again, it's not perfect, but I asked the students this question: which key concept is most important to All Quiet on the Western Front?
Your examples, because examples you use is more on my list of imagery. Also, Gabby's is imagery too: men walking on stumps and legs, men carrying their intestines. It's more imagery. What imagery is describing is what war is like when bombs are hitting you. If you got history, you always see, you never hear anything what happens when you get shot with a gun. Now you got history, you got newspapers that explain to you what happens when you get shot with a missile or bomb. You get blown apart. Imagery is basically showing what war is really like, how people now are just basically blown apart. And it ain't no fun games. It ain't fun to shoot a gun, now you get blown to pieces. This is what I think, this is what imagery is all about in that book.
Okay. I agree with Chaz, it is imagery because Paul, Gabby, Seth, and Austin, you guys are all right. It does explain the deglamorization and the lost generation. But as Chaz said, it is imagery because all we're seeing is how, he is deglamorizing it, but it's also putting an image in our head, and that's what it mostly is. Like on page 63, the belly of one is ripped open, the guts trail out. That's more imagery than deglamorization. So, and that's pretty much explaining how after a war, you see all of these disgusting things, and it is glamorizing it, but it's also saying showing you what it's like. So it's kind of a little bit of both, but mostly
Right now, stand up. I disagree with all you guys besides Austin because you're saying imagery is describing that they're losing their humanity, and so it's describing what how they're losing the humanity, not what it's about. So
I got it. Sit down. I'd have to agree with